thinking about this situation all flipping morning. For sure there's turkeys.
I'm a warrior of the wild. See the fire in my eyes. The ember leaves you terrified. And I'm guided by the light. Every time you knock me down, I will turn it back around. Forged by the revolution's fire.
Hey, welcome back, Mossy Oak Turkey Season 2025. I bet you all in at this point. I know I am. Don't know when your season opens, doesn't matter, because we fill in that gap right here on the Mossy Oak Go app. Be sure to follow us on mossyoak.com. This is a gift for you. It's free, the best content out there. What a better way to bridge that gap. So, with that said, let's jump right into week 3 right here on Mossy Oak Turkey Season 2025.
Let's see.
Well, we're starting to spring off in Georgia this year, and my good buddy Ramsey gave me the call, said, hey, birds are hot, let's try to get us one. Well, get there the first day, and Ramsey's stepbrother and girlfriend and dad, they actually, all three got a bird the first day. So second day, we wake up and look at my buddy Pruitt, said, why don't we go try to find us one?
Gearing up for battle. Turkey hunting is the only hunting that I carry too much crap with.
Yeah.
Every other hunting, I'm a minimalist. If I hadn't got
So
turkey
fluffy,
hunting,
I carried my binoculars, but that little bit of fluff made mine.
well, it's also because I'm blind. If I wasn't blind, I wouldn't carry these everywhere I go.
Take a step back in time to 2009.
So we wake up that second morning, and me and Pruitt, Gert, we're a little bit unsure if we're going to hear anything right off the rip, because let's be honest, 3 or 4 turkeys taken off that property the day before, and at roost the night prior, there was nothing that said that they were there or even existed to be there. So that being said, we start walking down the road, and I let out a few hoots. Sure enough, one strikes out, and we're like, all right, we know where he's at, so let's try to make a move on him. We dropped down in this bottom, hoot again, and he's in a whole nother bottom, so we got a good ridge in between us and him, and we make a move and get in position. He flies down. He's a little stubborn. He gets in this little logging road path that they got in between all these planted pines, and he was a little weary. You know, he didn't see a decoy or anything, and he was in a position where he should have seen that hen that was yelping. But had a hen fly up behind us. It jumped a ditch that was right behind me and Pruitt. And flew up. She putted a little bit, made him a little weird, so he shut up. And whenever she flew down, she went across that road and dropped back down that next bottom. Well, he saw that, and of course he followed her. And I kind of thought, oh boy, it might be over, you know. And sure enough, Pruitt crawled up to me and says, "I'm gonna do something a little weird."
He's gone away, isn't he? Yeah. That hen.
So he crawls back, gets out his trumpet call, starts ripping on it, and it fires him back up. Next thing you know, he's right back in that road again. He's gobbling, spitting, and drumming. I mean, he is mad. He can't see that hen. Well, in the midst of all that happening, I asked Gert, it's like, do you have it on camera? And he said, no, but shoot him if you want. I decided to not shoot. Gert didn't have it in frame. I had to shoot through a few things. I was really unsure. So we let him do his thing, and then I got real antsy. He started to walk off, and I seen that he tucked his wing, so I was going to try to make a move. I thought his head was behind a tree. It wasn't behind a tree, and as soon as I move, I just hear, put, and that dude jets off like a road runner, and I'm big sad. You talking about all the wind taken out of my sails. It was rough. So we sat there for a minute and was like, well, let's backtrack. Let's see if we can't strike something else up, and we walked probably, I don't know, maybe a mile or so. Haven't heard anything. Should have heard something by now. I mean, this property is beautiful. It's everything you could possibly want in a hunting piece of property. I mean, it's great. Well, we get back to where we kind of initially started when we first struck up that bird hooting that morning. We're walking. We're like, we hear something. It's like, where was that at? We thought it was in front of us, behind us, side. We didn't really know. Well, call again. It was like, all right, that bird's in front of us. So we try to make a move, wrap around the edge of this ridge, and before we did it again, we're like, let's call again, make sure that's where he is. And sure enough, after we called again, that dude is 180 degrees behind us. Just flip-flopped. It was like, whoa, holy cow. I guess how all them pines are planted and all the little roads going through there where he was positioned. Whenever he gobbled, just went right up one of them roads and dumped down to the bottom, and it fooled all three of us.
I kind of want to hang out.
Take gobs again.
Take cops again, but I also kind of want to get on him while he's
Hot. Are in the mood.
All right, I'm going to call from this knob.
All right.
And depending, we'll either drop off through that or through that.
All right. He's down that way. That's that mark. That's that way.
Might be 2 different birds.
There's no way you made it that far.
I'm wondering if the pines are just with us.
Well, once we figured out where he was, we kind of got positioned, ran through the pines, got set up, and first tree I set up on, I ended up was sitting right in the sun, didn't realize it. So I moved over one, and that bird, I mean, he's ripping. I'm talking about just something we made up in the term of drum gobble. I mean, he was gobbling so hard you could hear the drumming in it. It was very intense. Well, while he's coming towards us, I can slowly feel that sun creeping on me. I'm like, oh no. And I got a red dot on my 410. It's pretty reflective on the back side of it, or the front side of it. So I had in my mind, I'm just gonna put my gun down below, or lay it across my leg to where it's not beaming off that sun. And I seen the gobbler, here he come, and Pruitt's cutting and yelping. He's answering, cutting them off, and just doing everything you could possibly want a turkey to do for you. Well, as soon as he decided he's going to come in them pines, I knew that he was going to have to go across a few trees before I could shoot him. And sure enough, whenever he did that, that's whenever I raised my gun up, and he took a couple steps, kind of, a couple more steps, raised his neck up, and that was it.
Let's go! Go! Let's go! Yeah, baby. Oh, let's go! Oh, he's a hammer too. Let's go! Dude, I heard him drum right before you shot, and I was like, oh, he's about to shoot.
That's the same bird.
Gotta be.
You can hear in that gobble.
That's a powerful gobble, wasn't it?
It's a powerful 410, baby.
That was a poke, my boy.
Wouldn't let him go.
Oh, look where Dirk was, right down the lane.
And he dropped like a sack of potatoes.
He sure did.
Oh, he's got some hooks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
You want some magic? You want some magic?
boy.
Those are some good ones. That's a mature bird, for sure. Like you said, you could tell in that gobble. Look at him, he's about to lose his beard.
I seen that. What was that for?
Beard rot.
Jeez.
That line, and
Yeah,
another
yeah.
year, gone.
Thank you, Lord. Shooting a wild turkey is probably about the only thing in this world that I could think of at the age of 32 years old. All my years on this earth, 32 years, shooting a wild turkey is probably about the only thing that makes me feel giddy like a kid again. The emotions are through the roof. There's highs, there's lows, and there's highs again. You can hear it from Pruitt's Mike whenever he comes shooting across the screen, him giggling like a little girl. I think he was just excited as I was. And to have Ramsey invite me out there year after year to go shoot a turkey out there on his place, I mean, I'm forever grateful. You know, that's something that is pretty special, and I hope we get to continue to do that year in and year out.
Today, certain areas of our nation suffer from sharp declines in wild turkey numbers, along with critical habitat loss due to many unforeseen factors. The NWTF, along with state and federal agency partners, are working tirelessly to mitigate these losses through sound scientific research and boots-on-the-ground work projects in regions all across this country. We can do more with your help. Your $35 membership can help fund and support the urgent research that's needed right now to ensure we have thriving populations of wild turkeys across our landscape for generations to come. The mission statement of the National Wild Turkey Federation has and always will be the conservation of the wild turkey and the preservation of our rich hunting heritage. Join, renew, or upgrade your level of sponsorship today and help us help the Yelp for wild turkey conservation.
I guess the thing that caught my interest early on was when we first got married and Ronnie would go turkey hunting and leave at 4 a.m. And I often wondered what could be so wonderful out there to get up that early and go hunting. For years we had small children and it really wasn't an option for me. But as our girls got older, I decided one morning to go turkey hunting with him. And after that first hunt, I was pretty much addicted.
My earliest memory of turkey hunting, I don't remember where we were. It was probably public land somewhere. And I remember we heard turkeys, but we didn't see turkeys. And the parts of that hunt that really stick out in my mind were, first off, we were in this blind that my dad had made. There were these poles, and they just have fabric in between each pole. And you would just stake the poles in the ground and kind of build a little circle. And then he put down a blanket, and we had a backpack with all kind of, you know, I had a push button box call. And looking back at it now, knowing what it takes to turkey hunt, knowing how stealthy and quiet and still you have to be, I mean, it was insane because, I mean, it's this little kid. We had all this stuff with us. We were in this gigantic homemade ground blind. You know, it was not stealthy by any means, but now I kind of understand that it wasn't about getting the turkeys in and seeing a turkey or killing a turkey that day. It was more about getting to hear the turkeys and be outside and kind of just get a feel for it.
Honestly, couldn't have had more fun with boys than I did with them. You know, my oldest one, Amy, she went hunting with me for a little while, but her deal was sports. She loved softball and tennis and all that, and that's what I did with her. You know, she went deer hunting with me a couple of times, and she still hangs out with us all the time. Now she's married and has a family of her own, a little girl and a little boy. But I had so much fun with them, and they were such great company for their mom. I can't dream not having girls. I just had so much fun with them.
I guess my earliest memory would be my first hunt, and that was with Ronnie and Will Primos. And we were hunting near Port Gibson, Mississippi, in a really beautiful area with lots of hardwoods. When the turkey came in, I immediately felt my heart just beating almost out of my chest. I got so excited that I shot a pine tree instead of the turkey.
Everybody knows Cuz. Well, this is Mrs. Cuz. And this was our attempt to take Mrs. Cuz out, let her share some of what we do for a living.
She'll never have a closer shot at a turkey with a beard that long. Hey, I got her a deer hole where she missed her first deer, and I mounted that rifle shell, and it says my almost first deer. So I'm gonna mount this, and on the flash gonna say my almost first turkey.
I'm gonna tell you what, that is beautiful on video. It's gotta be.
I think my dad decided to introduce all his girls, my mom and my sister and I, to the woods is because anytime you really love something and you gain happiness and peace and excitement and all these different things from it, your initial reaction is to bring other people into it and try to introduce them to it and see, you know, does this make you happy and is this exciting for you?
I think he had a true appreciation for the outdoors, and I had not grown up in a hunting family. So I think he wanted us to experience what he had always done as a kid growing up with fishing and hunting. And even when the girls were little, too small to take hunting, he would always plan fishing trips and anything to get us outdoors and introduce us to a world he had grown up in.
heard maybe 3 back here this morning and 2 over behind these hardwoods. And so we're just gonna sit down. I'm not moving, I'm not going to them, I'm gonna try to call them to us.
Say the most fun is just being out there with my family. I know several times Ronnie was gone on trips filming, and Lauren and I would go by ourselves. With her, most of ours was just kind of trial and error because we were learning as we went. We were a little unprepared to be turkey hunters because we didn't have a lot of experience. So we would come up with our own ideas of what needed to happen on these hunts. A lot of times there was more giggling and laughing and messing up the whole thing than there was actually achieving a goal.
You know, my wife came from a family who didn't hunt, and I think she thought I was crazy because I always wanted them to go hunting with me. I wanted them to know why I did it and where venison on the table came from and why. I wanted them to understand what roles hunters play in the outdoors. You know, it's not just about shooting stuff or trying to get the big one. I wanted them to understand why I did it. The reason I wanted them to go to Texas once or twice is it's like Disneyland. You know, if you hunt Mississippi, Alabama, you know, southeast like that, the turkeys can be pretty humbling. And you go out there and it's like, wow, man, they're gobbling. They'll come in, they'll work into a call. There's a lot of them. There's always action.
When spring break rolled around the next year, my dad was like, where are we going? And I was like, Texas. And I said, we ought to talk Mama into going. He called me in his office. He's like, I'm talking to this guy. He's at the Harttail Ranch. And he said they're like this far from San Antonio and only this far from Fredericksburg. And do you think Mama would be interested if we could take her shopping too? And I was like, she'll be all over it.
Here on the Harttail for generations, we've been strictly cattle and horses, and today we still raise the F1 cattle and registered quarter horses, both running quarter horses and performance horses. We've never taken an opportunity or advantage of the hunting out here. Feel like we got a lot to offer in that it has never been hunted, other than the immediate members of my family, most of which are too busy to hunt.
I was going to be the first hunter, and I think Ronnie may have called once, and then he allowed Lauren to call in my turkey.
The sun started coming up, and you can hear them pitching down, and we're just trying to decide, where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? And we finally hear one gobbling on the ground, and we immediately start calling to it, trying to get it in, and it just made a beeline.
He's close.
He's getting close.
Thank you, good calling.
Congratulations. You made a heck of a shot.
Thanks.
But you got his spurs.
Oh, that's awesome.
He just came
running.
What do you think of the Rios?
I think it's awesome. We heard them forever. How many did you hear?
Probably 5 or 6. There's one gobbling right now.
Well, you've got your license. Still early.
It is still early.
I say we try it again.
All right, well, I'll get you going, but you're going to carry your turkey. Well, my mom had taken her turkey early that morning, and she was on a mission. She was ready to go shopping, so she kind of was tugging on my turkey vest, pulling me to the side, and she was like, okay, I've got mine, so you need to go and get yours so we can go into town. And the goal was to call the turkeys past us so that they're focusing on the calls and not so much us and our movement and the camera and all that kind of stuff. This turkey came from like 500 yards. He was just coming, coming, coming. Gun's up, I'm ready, I'm sitting on go. I can't shoot. I've been with my dad enough times to know you wait for the cameraman to say shoot. You wait for shooting, taking, something, and he wasn't saying a word. I feel my elbows getting weak and my arms shaking, and my breathing's all shallow, and I'm kind of coming unglued because he made me wait so long.
I made Lauren wait a long time because this turkey was drumming really loud and I could see it. And she was about to get aggravated, but she took her turkey, and I'm telling you, after that, it was a cloud of dust. They were gone, and I decided not to go on the shopping trip, to stay there with Kip and Brad. We had a pretty good hunt after they left. They go enough to understand why I go, and we do stuff outdoors, whether it's moving deer stands or cooking out or whatever. They feel like they're a part. Now, they don't have to be just, you know, eat up with it like most guys are, and certainly I am, but at least they feel comfortable in that environment, and they know the terms and the lingo, and it's just something we can talk about together.
Always know if I want to come hunt a deer stand, or if I want to go hunt turkeys with him in the morning, that invitation's always extended. It's like eating dinner at your grandma's house on Sunday. You don't have to call and ask. You know the opportunity's there.
So we wrapped up turkey season with Megan Patrick, country music singer. She had actually come to the island a couple years ago and shot a turkey with us and decided we'd run it back. She had a break in her schedule and we made it happen. You know, so the island is dynamic in so many ways, but one of them is obviously the water levels. And you think water and ducks, and in this case, it was kind of water and turkeys. The water was at a certain level and had some turkeys on the southeast corner of the island in a spot that kind of had them hemmed up. We had the river on one side and water in the duck hole on another side, and we knew there were some turkeys down there, and we hadn't been down there at all this year, but figured, hey, if one gobbles, we're going to have a good chance to kill them. All right, y'all good? Y'all know what to do? We're about to strike out. So that morning, we kind of went all in on this flock of turkeys. We took the boat around to them, got out of the boat. We had thought we would be north of them when we parked the boat, and we were, so it was perfect. When they gobbled, we were in a good position, pretty much sat down right where we were at. Couldn't really go any further forward. And there at daylight, there was hens and jakes and gobblers pitching down from every different direction. We knew it was some turkeys down there, but I didn't know it was that many. Yeah, so the turkeys pitched down and did what turkeys do, just kind of drew their line in the sand and strutted and gobbled, and we finally got a hen to break loose and come check us out, and she put on a show, just cutting and purring and yelping. That morning I actually was back behind Edward and Megan, and when I saw that hen coming down the road yelping, I thought, well, here we go. It's about to happen because those gobblers are going to follow her for sure, but they didn't. She went past Megan, past me and her yelping and cutting up.
When that hen came in, that was crazy. I've never experienced that turkey hunting. I've never been that close to a bird. I mean, she got up so close, I was like, either she's gonna just crawl up in my lap or we're gonna fight. I don't know. She sounded like she was ready to fight.
The textbook would say that those gobblers were going to follow suit, but they didn't. They had other hens that they were tending to, and anyway, we had to do a little moving around for our next setup.
Or if we just hang out and wait for them to come back, or circle, or we could circle around them in the boat. I don't know if it's a Jake or what, but his head's wide as it can be. Here he comes.
Hell yeah. Let's go! And that's how we do it at Lost Break, baby. Let's go. He dropped. Let's go. Let's go, dude. Woo! I don't think I've ever just dropped one like that.
Like when you shot, like he just...
Like I felt very good about the shot, but like I've just never seen a bird just drop like that. Like usually it's dramatic and there's flailing and there's backflips, and he just went, doink. Good night. Bad day to be a bird, good day to be me.
Hey, we appreciate y'all following along with us this year, but I must ask y'all, come on back and join us next season.
Just wait. Stay on the one on the far right. Just wait, they're all too close together.
Bring it over here, Big G. Y'all watch this. Oh, yeah.
That's good, Randall.
Randy Watson.
But it's the last day. This is the last little hoorah for these two knuckleheads. We got to try to get squirrel turkey, and he's got the perfect plan to get it all taken care of.
Slim pickings. Whoo-wee. I certainly need that this morning.
I bet y'all put on fresh pants.
No.
I'm wearing the same pants I've worn since we took that shower Wednesday.
Well, these are greasy. I mean greasy. I smelled the crotch this morning just for fun. Whoa, let me say it wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be.
I smelled the crotch.
I don't even have to try to smell mine.
It's there, huh?
It's there, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have not started within a half mile of turkey all week, have we?
No.
Like every morning, we can't luck up and be close to one off a stick.
And when we start when we need to, they're not there.
Yeah, they're not there when we start running. Goodness gracious.
Imagine if you would have got one yesterday.
Yeah, would have been all over it. Tell us something, squirrel.
I don't have much to say.
Don't have much to say.
You released turkey.
The turkey we heard a couple times in the absolute distance of all distances. We get there and we ain't heard him since. So it's back to the burn your feet off all day. We're fixing to start kicking through some what looks like good ground and yipping and see if we can strike one. Did you get your feet wet? Did you get wet, bull?
Oh yeah.
Got wet? You got the left one this morning, now you got the right one?
I got them both now.
Oh man, he's winning today, buddy. He's winning today. There's a squirrel right there, I think. Taking a break. I ain't heard nothing, ain't seen nothing. Well, it's just me. Squirrel and Chubbs had to go jump back into the stuff of the real world. Squirrel was screaming about something about protein stacking and macros or something. I think he had some kind of gym competition, and of course Chubbs had another chili cook-off, so they had to get back home. Just left me out here, so I'm out of ice. So what I'm doing is we can have a good lunch. Squirrel had some fajita meat that he brought, and we had fajitas one night, but he's left a little bit of it, and I'm out of ice, so if you don't cook this meat, it's going to be going bad pretty quick. So Nothing to cook it up here, I hope. I don't know if I'm recording the Pinhoti project or the Blair Witch project, but it's raining again this morning. That's it, you can hear hitting the tarp. I'm up, sitting up under the tarp. Got everything squared away and on go, ready to go. Just me this morning. We'll go to a different area. We have we found some turkey, a couple turkeys, a few turkeys. We've rode them turkeys for the past week, just in just a couple areas. We've approached them from different angles and all kind of different ways to jazz it up, but we've been hunting the same area. And we're going somewhere different this morning. I don't want to call it a lazy day, but it's not going to be, it's not intended to be as strenuous as the last week has been, because we're only going to hunt a few hours here at the beginning of daylight, if the rain quits anyway. More rain and silence otherwise. Other than the rain falling, it's been silence. We're gonna go on a little walkabout here. Probably a few miles, maybe a little better. I promised myself a quick morning this morning. So this is gonna be it for today. Had absolutely all I could take of them heavy knee boots. So today we got wet feet and tennis shoes. Trying to look for some sign, trying to get some clues. If I could get a fresh gobbler track, let me know there's one in the area. Just give me somewhere to start, because it don't seem like these jokers are going to be gobbling what we got up here. It's a big pine flat, so we're going to walk our way into it, make a loop through it, and that'll probably be all we're going to do for today. So you can tell the wind's up. Not that a turkey was going to gobble for us to hear anyway, but if there was a chance, probably isn't anymore. Can't never tell. You don't know unless you're out there, and we're out here, so. Finding a little turkey sign at least. Some hen tracks up and down this road pretty readily. Ain't seen a gobbler yet, but surely they ain't too far behind. It's another day in Florida, believe it or not. It's another day without having a clue where to start, but I'm gonna go in after these turkeys again, but we're gonna approach it from a different angle. It takes a little effort to get in here, but gotta walk up and around this old road system, and I just cut some, I think we're about an hour before daylight, and I just cut some really fresh boot tracks. So, I mean, it looked like today fresh. I'm hoping that they were yesterday. But that obviously means somebody's been in here hunting this turkey from this angle, which I was hoping to be the first to do. But hopefully it was yesterday, not today. If so, we'll have to back up or go wide or something when we get up here. Plenty of ground to hunt, but I don't want to get on top of anybody, especially if I was first. But anyways, I got some ground to cover, so we will catch up with you guys probably when that sky behind me starts brightening up a little bit. Alright, we're situated. Well, we're not situated. Well, I guess we're situated. We're where we want to be. Got a bunch of pine, big pine block out here in front of us, and stretches a little ways behind us, mostly to our this way, east. As you can tell where the sun's coming up. Mosquitoes are doing their thing. It's by far the best morning, as long as the wind doesn't bite us. It's at least 10 degrees colder than it's been. It doesn't have that sticky feeling. It doesn't feel humid. It's a little bit cool almost. I went with tennis shoes this morning, so I'm soaking wet. But I got tired of dragging them big old tall rubber boots around, so we're soaking wet and a little bit cool. It's kind of a welcome feeling. Just had a turkey gobble.
in these pines over here. I'm gonna let him gobble again before I move, because I gotta go through this little open spot right here. I need to make sure how close he was. I couldn't tell. Pretty doggone close. Yeah, he's in there just a little piece, so we're gonna get across here. See if we can get in that pine block with him.
of me. Wow. Boys, that's why we do it. I did remember to turn the barrel camera on that time. I looked at the last minute, and this thing was glaring like new money. I got nervous and took it off my shoulder and put it on the ground. Oh man alive. Them turkeys, they get me. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Lord. What a flippin' turkey hunt. How close is that turkey? All he had to do was hear the call. Sharp spurred turkey, a lot of sharp spurs. The wings are black as night. That was a good turkey hunt. That was a good turkey hunt. Alright, let's see. I took a moment for myself there so you can see the sun's coming up just a touch. I was going to walk y'all through this before we hung him up and did our thing and smoked a cigar. But, man, it's just been not a tough spring. It's just been more challenging than last year. We'll call it tough. One of the toughest I can remember as far as lack of gobbling turkeys, lack of turkeys that will gobble. Enough to kill them. Kind of not a lack of turkeys. We're seeing turkeys sign. You know they're there. It's just we've just gotten spoiled over the last handful of years, honestly. This is Squirrel and I talked about this. Feels a little bit more like the days of old when we used to hunt this place, and you'd go days without hearing a turkey, and you'd hear one turkey, and then you may not hear another turkey for 2 miles. But anyways, I wanted to walk you guys through this. What happened here? I started way off this way. I heard the turkey in these pines behind me here. You can see how open these pines are at this little edge. And I was coming down this thing, and the turkey gobbled up here probably 200, 250. Not super close, but not, you know, you can see if he's up in a tree, he can see pretty good ways. And I saw this little lane and this little opening here. I thought, man, that'd be a good place to kill turkey. So when he gobbled, I said, he's plenty close enough to hear the call. I dove into this burnt palm over here. Bunch of old cabbage palm, bunch of palm fronds and stuff laid up. I pulled them up around me, pointed down the lane. By the time I got situated and everything, I knew he'd probably on the ground, and I yelped to him, expecting him to gobble back in here. I never heard the turkey fly down or anything. Like I said, I wasn't super close to him, but anyways, I did some soft tree calling, and then you know, kind of started with some volume because I knew I had to get through these palmettos to reach him. And it wasn't until I got up on that volume he gobbled, and he had went, from where he was roosted, almost like he went 125, 150 yards. He was over here, and he was all the way, well, to the east, as you can see, as the sun comes up. And so I had to pivot, and I threw my call to the left so that he would play toward my larger open spot. And Buddy, he read this script. He did exactly. I made eye contact with him, or I saw him, he didn't see me, obviously, so I don't know if you'd call it eye contact, but I saw his old white head, and he was coming through there just on a march, and I had to wait on him to get around this cabbage pond right here. He was walking to the left just as calmly as you can, just on his little march. I let him get behind that cabbage palm, and I made my move to the left side of it, and he stepped out right here at 19 yards, what it ended up being. And it was simple as that. I mean, right place, you know, just getting into the right spot. That's all that was. Finding the right turkey more than anything, because once he heard that call, he gobbled at it. I got situated, yelped right back at him, he gobbled at it. I cut at him a time or two, and that was it. I will say he started marching and obviously got content on where he knew the hen was, because I yelped at him a time or two when I knew he should have been close to kind of figure out where he was going to pop up at, and he didn't gobble. A crow was above me calling, and he didn't gobble at that either, but he just popped up right here. As a matter of fact, when he came out from behind that cabbage palm, he was 3/4 strut. He was still completely fooled. But I can honestly say, I think this is the first time I have ever killed a turkey in Under Armour tennis shoes. Maybe tennis shoes as a whole, but definitely Under Armour tennis shoes. First one, first time for everything. That was fun. We've been playing cat and mouse with these turkeys like you wouldn't believe. I tried to come in the back door this morning, and we've been approaching these turkeys from the other side, like day in, day out. And I found this fresh track yesterday, and knew he was in here. Turkeys just hadn't been gobbling. If they have been gobbling, it's just been a handful of times and hadn't been able to get with them. What luck we've had has been right in the middle of the day, and say, like the turkey I killed last week, what is it? Yep, last week, almost a week ago, gobbled. When we got in tight on him, he gobbled 3 times at a crow, gobbled 1 time at the call, and we killed him. The one Chubbs killed a couple days ago, we got in tight on him, he gobbled. Once we got in on him, you know, this was when we struck him to kill him, he gobbled. We got a hen to cut him. We sat down on the hen, he didn't gobble at that. Then he gobbled at something, so he gobbled twice. He gobbled at something as we were setting up, squirrel heard him, Chubbs yelped at him, and he gobbled again. That's the 2 times that he gobbled before we killed him. I mean, it was just boy, they've been stingy with him this year. But this is by far the closest I've started to a turkey all year, for sure. We ain't been within a country mile. It seems like every morning we move to where we think they're going to make us shift, move to where we think they're going to be, and nothing. Or we just, I mean, it's literally like as far as you can hear them. This boy was as close as we've been all spring, for sure. I probably advanced on him about 200 yards, and I think he was about 200, 250 on the limb. And boy, he was ready, because he gobbled, I think, 6 or 7 times on the limb, and then he gobbled probably 6, 8 times on the ground on the way in. So I can say he had not gobbled on the ground until he gobbled at the call. So he wasn't just going to be out gobbling on his own, free gobbling. He was going to have to be provoked, and he didn't gobble at the crows that were flying over, nothing. He only gobbled at the yelping. But he did that 4 or 5 times and made his way in to 19 yards. Man, I love it. So we're going to dedicate this one to wet springs and quiet Osceola turkeys, because that's what we've had. And we'll go ahead and toast Spring 24 as well, because she's going. She's moving right along.
Waiting on a woman. Always.
You talking about Grant?
That's just what we need him to be able to have something to see. I ain't out there, I seen him. Yep. For you. Really? Turn around and snap a picture of you.
This is my first time ever going.
Yeah.
My first day of school.
No, I do too. I haven't seen him back there now in Turkey out about 50 boy. He needs something to be able to move.
I feel a lot better that you brought them binoculars.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I got mine.
We can get all this stuff out when we get it. Y'all gonna be able to fit back there?
Mm-hmm.
That ain't the same turkey. It's
I can find it.
I know. Oh, he's definitely above that foliage that's around the field. That turkey's fairly deep. It's the one on the right. I ain't worried about him. I know he's in that drain, yeah. He's to the right of them tallest pines.
That first one we heard is on that food plot.
The turkey that gobbled first, it almost sounded like he was far enough left that he was almost towards the food plot. There he is, that's him. All I know to do is I just hate to get to that road. He's probably looking at that road. We ain't gonna be able to get to that road. Get right there and find you a good tree. You can see all that tilting wheel sit up. It's a lot of getting right there. I'm good. I mean, it's up to you. That one turn is pretty dang close. Yeah. I think you'd be good to move it if you wanted to. It's fine. that single. Yeah. Is that gonna give us the higher ground, you think? He's a good one. He got one good.
Loving it. Loving week 3. Here's something I want to talk about. Again, I don't want you to laugh out loud. This right here changed the way I turkey hunt. And it's not just because I'm getting a little long in the tooth. I got one of them turkey chairs, and I'm telling you, the first time I used it, as soon as I got back to the truck, I took the cushion off my Dixon vest. I put a shotgun sling on that turkey chair. It changed. I say it changed the way I hunt. It helped me be more still. There's nothing like it. It's up off the ground. And if you're a young 19, 25-year-old, that's running gun, hey, I get it. May not be you. But for me, it did several things. First off, I ain't got to find a tree bigger than me to lean back against. You can't always find a tree bigger than me to lean back against. You can take this thing, put it in the middle of a bush, and break you some stuff out. It's awesome. So before you laugh out loud, go get in one of them turkey chairs and just sit in it. Because I can promise you, the more still you can be for a longer time, the more successful you'll be in the turkey woods. I'm just saying, give it a try. Now, back to the shows. Kill him. Kill him. Hey. All right, Patrick, pull your head net off so we can see your face.
Thank the Lord for your blessings today. We've worked mighty hard for it. I want to thank Mossy Oak and them too. Thank you, cuz.
Right down to the wire. And you got the show. Holy cow. Congratulations, big man.
That's awesome.
Ooh, he got some hooks on him too. Yes, indeed.
Osceola. A little wet.
And everybody says it ain't about killing a turkey, but it kind of is for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably going to be his only one and only chance for an Osceola.
Yeah.
I think he's from wherever, Tennessee or Kentucky or somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And that, my friends, is a good feeling right there.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey.
It was pretty fabulous. It was just an awesome hunt. That group right there, I think it was Monday night. Yeah, Monday night or Tuesday night, whenever, they kind of told some of their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, some of those backstories those guys have are hard to listen to.
Yeah.
And you don't share that and all that kind of stuff, but it's like, holy cow. And they're talking about how cool it is and all that. And you really, really, really realize how you're not worthy to be there, but it means something to them. For 2 or 3 days, they get to feel special.
As they should.
And they get to hear Keith hollering at me about my tube call, and everybody's picking on Bubba and Greg Keane here, and they're just part of the gang there after a while. But they, if it makes them forget anything they're worried about for 2 or 3 days, then mission accomplished. And good for the Florida Cattlemen's Association, Keith and Ron and those guys working their butt off. Toxie just saying, do whatever you need to do. God bless them all. It's a very special thing.
March in line, march in line. Hey.
It's just a fact. Without the great wild turkey, there would be no Mossy Oak. You know, as a company, we're way more than just camouflage. From our commitment to conservation to all the traditions we pass on to future generations. And like it is with any true obsession, those things that drove us in the beginning still drive us today. Praise God. Springtime is finally here.
While I'm sitting there drinking a Coke thinking about how real that nightmare was, I began to hear a car coming down the gravel road to the camp. You know the phrase, the dummy line. When I first got into this club, I heard it constantly. Somebody would refer to something by the dummy line, and it was such an unusual phrase. I'd never heard of it before, and I came to find out that a dummy line was back many years ago when they all this ground was hardwood timber, and when they would go in to cut it, they would lay a railroad track, cut the timber, and haul it out off on those railroad tracks. And then they would take up the steel and the cross ties, and it just left these railroad beds. And they were called dummy lines because they really didn't go anywhere. They just went, they were straight, they went somewhere and stopped, and they hauled the timber out. So until, you know, when I wrote the story, The Dummy Line, I started hearing about dummy lines from Texas to Maine. They're all over the place. I had no idea that the dummy line was such a common phrase that was used. So, you know, not a lot of people may know this, but I wrote a suspense thriller, and it's called The Dummy Line. And it was based many years ago, probably 10 or 12 years ago now. This property has an old camp, and it's kind of the quintessential hunting camp. And I was there, and I was in a camper, and I had my daughter. She was about 7 or 8 years old. And so when we went to sleep that night, I was kind of, you know, apprehensive, just trying to take care of her, make sure she didn't get around a snake or didn't anything happen to her. So I was concerned and cautious about her. So I went to bed with that on my mind, and I had a dream that somebody tried to break into the camp while we were there, and you know, they wanted to rob me and get guns and money, and like I had any money. But anyway, I had that dream, and it was a really violent dream. And I woke up from that dream, and she was sound asleep, and you know, I hadn't really told many people this, but I woke up from that dream, checked on her, she was asleep. We were in a little camper, and I opened the door, and I got a Coca-Cola, and I sat down, and it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had just had that violent dream, a nightmare, I guess. And in the dream, this truck pulled up to the camp, and some guys got out. And so anyway, while I'm sitting there drinking a Coke thinking about how real that nightmare was, I began to hear a car coming down the gravel road to the camp. And I can see headlights, and I can hear the gravel popping, just like in my dream, exactly like in my dream. So, you know, I kind of started freaking out, and the vehicle stopped at the gate just like it did in my dream. So I thought that maybe this was a premonition or something. And so I got up and got my shotgun out of my truck, and I stood in the shadows, and I waited about 20 minutes, and nobody came down the gravel road. And so at that point, I decided I'd sneak up and see what was going on. And at the gate, there was a car. The windows were all fogged up, and there was some music going on. So I knew what was going on then, but I went back to the camp, and I just thought, you know, this could really happen. Somebody could break into a hunting camp, because we're all there, and we got guns and Bibles. Rarely do we lock the door. You know, you just let your guard down when you're at the camp. So I went back home that next day, and I got out my computer and I typed chapter 1. And I had so much fun writing the story, and it's set right there at that old camp. And then much of the story
revolves around this property and running back and forth across the dummy line. And so anyway, the story's just been a lot of fun. So, you know, I grew up like a lot of people. My dad, when he was coming along, there weren't a lot of deer and turkeys. And so we fished, and I really enjoyed it. But somewhere along the way, I heard a turkey gobble, and it just kind of, all my interest went toward turkeys and deer. And kind of later, I've come back to fishing. But he was so good about, he really didn't care anything about going turkey hunting or deer hunting. But he would take me, and he would drive someplace before I was old enough to drive, and then oftentimes he'd just sleep in the car and let me go hunting, and we did that a lot. And so, you know, I've got some great memories of him going with me. He loved to shoot doves, and he loved to bird hunt. But you know, I think when I think back, that's all there was for him to do when he was growing up. So that's what he experienced, and it's what he enjoyed. And the older I get, that's kind of the more of what I enjoy. But you know, I've had this old 410. It's a Winchester Model 37, and it's an old gun. He got it when he was a kid, and I remember going to my grandparents' house, and they pulled it out, and it was wrapped up in an oilcloth, and they gave it to me, and so it was the first shotgun I ever had. But honestly, I can remember going on dove shoots and quail hunting with it, and it was such a challenge. But it ended up getting put back in the closet, and I got a 20 gauge and you know, kind of moved on from this old gun. But so it sat in closets, and it sat in a gun safe for years. And then recently I've been hearing so many people talk about hunting with 410s, turkey hunting. And so I got it out, and I looked at it. It's got a full choke, and it looks like it's in great shape. So I got some heavy shot and went and patterned it, and I'm really comfortable that this gun would kill a turkey out to 35 yards. So I said, I'm gonna try it. So I had a good idea where a turkey was, and this actual hunt, when the turkey gobbled in the tree, I knew right where he was, and we were set up decent for him. The turkey flew down out in a clear cut and gobbled a few times, and I can't see him, David can, so he's got pretty good footage of this turkey the whole time. You know, there was just a lot of emotions. I was thinking about my dad. I was thinking about how much I love turkey hunting, and all the many years that I've done it. It's been well over 40 years. And then, you know, shooting one with this little old gun that's been in the family for a long time. It was my dad's very first gun. It really did mean a lot to me. It really did. And I remember grabbing that turkey's legs and hauling him back there and setting him down, and really didn't know what to say. You know, I love turkey hunting so much. It's just been a big part of my life. And in this property, you know, there's nothing special. It's a big patch of plantation pines in various stages. But I've been hunting it a long time, and it means a lot to me. The dummy line and the book, that really means a lot to me. But to grab this old gun, and it stirred up a lot of thoughts and brought back a lot of memories. My dad passed away about 17 years ago, so I think about him a lot, but I really thought about him a lot that morning. And holding this gun, it really made some good memories come back. I enjoyed it a bunch.
All right, what we're going to talk about next is the fly down cackle, something that's used obviously when turkeys come off the limb, but it's used oftentimes if there's a lot of aggression, a lot of talkative, you know, early in the season when hens are talking back and forth, there's a lot of vocabulary being thrown around, and you've got a heightened sense of excitement before they come off that limb. And when she pitches off, a lot of times she'll give a big, long, loud cackle. It can really set the stage as far as, you know, getting a gobbler off the limb, getting him on the ground, and getting him ability to call him in before he gets before you get too much competition around you. And it goes something like this. And essentially, you're just a hen on the limb, and she's bursting off. There's a sense of insecurity there. She don't know what she's fixing to encounter, so she's kind of coming off and going down, and that's kind of what you're telling him is you're on the ground, you're ready for action. One of the things that you can often do to roost a turkey, which is kind of can be a tricky situation because not all turkeys gobble in the evenings, especially in the southeast. Get close to a roost, get somewhere tight, somewhere that you think he can hear you really well. In my opinion, you always start with owl hoots. You always start with something that's going to possibly get him to give his location away without having to use your magic trick. But sometimes a fly up cackle can really spark a turkey, give his location away so you know where to start the next morning. In my opinion, a fly up cackle is not quite as elaborate and forceful as a fly down cackle, but it is just the same kind of situation, just a rapid staccato of cutting that's going to kind of climb as it goes. And a lot of times that piercing sound, when he's already up on the limb, he's already situated for the night, that'll get him to crack one off, and you got a direction on where you want to head in the morning.
You know, field turkeys can give you some of the toughest problems each and every spring. We're going to show you a few tactics we like to use, some with success and some with not so much success.
And also, Mark playing favorites.
Mark does not play favorites. I don't play favorites, Perry. I don't. Thanks, Wayne.
All right, we made a little game plan there in the shed this morning, and that was based off of 4 different guys, myself, Perry, Wade, and Coondog, going 4 different directions last night and roosting. Coondog didn't hear anything. Wade made some turkeys gobble, but they were in the distance and off the property. I had 1 turkey gobbling, but I didn't quite like the position he was in, although I think we could have had a play on him. But Perry heard these, and they're in a decent position for the setup we're going into. Wade and I talked about it, and we said we're going to go where Perry roosted. That way, if it doesn't work, we can blame it on him.
Just another day.
This will be our 5th day, and we've not had pressure above 30 until this morning. Pressure's above 30, so I think they're going to rip it well today. You're on the tonight, mister. You've said that 3 times now. What's that? You're on the tonight, mister.
Well, I want to go to bed.
Yeah, we can take it. So we got the decoys. Yep. 400 yards from you. 400 or 500. They're up on this ridge above us, so we're going against the odds here a little bit. Number one, we're below them. Number two, we're more distant than we like to be. But we really feel like they're going to make their way this way. So we're set up. Wade and I are set in a great position to hunt this green field. Perry and Coondog are in that blind there, so they'll have great pre-roll that we may not get because we're brushed in and trying to stay out of their line of sight. We can hear some birds flying now. So it's really going to matter whether they start this way or not, but always in the morning there's that fly down top where they hang out at the roost tree, do their thing, do their strutting, regroup a little bit, because oftentimes they're spread out when they roost by, anywhere from 20 to 100 yards or maybe 200 yards. They get together, do their thing, so there's always that period before the sun comes up where it can get a little quiet. So we'll see if they fade this way. It's gonna be awesome if they do it. It will be awesome. 2 different views. It should be fun. We would have 2 more, but somebody lost the remote. So get the old-fashioned turkey out. Wade gave Perry the remote and he misplaced it. He can't find it. Yeah, sound already a little closer. If they come this way at all, I think we're going to be in really good shape. Yeah. Really good eyesight, better than Perry's. He's looked down and amidst all this brush and he goes, there's the remote. So Perry dropped it when we were setting up and Wade found it. So we're back in the game. There you go, bud. Good job. Thanks. Just for the record, Wade looks like this morning in the dark and turning his flashlight on to try and find the remote that he lost. They can sit over there and do interviews and blame me for losing the remote, but we all know the truth, Wade. Put it in your pocket, bud. The birds have kind of sifted away. They're up over that ridge. They really weren't where Perry thought they were. They're further south, so.
Good bit further south. I don't know what, if he wasn't using DeerCast maps or what, but they were like the next ridge over. Like we weren't in the game. That's for sure.
No, we haven't been in a game, so we'll probably go check some of the spots that Wade and I wanted to go to and see if we can't get in the game. Like I said in the truck, if we fail, it's on Perry.
We just left the roost spotted some turkeys from the road. They're in a good position to hopefully get set up and call them in. We were driving down the road. Wade looked off to the west. He said there's some strutters on that hill, so we'll see if we can get in there on them. I spotted the turkeys. He didn't spot the turkeys. He lost the remote. He roosted the turkeys wrong. And he missed these whenever we were driving right by. Yeah. We'll see what we can find. outside, try to get set up in a spot, probably lay down in the grass. We spotted these turkeys. Let's see what happens. They gotta be right here. Yeah. There they are. See the single bear tree? Their fans are right there. See that single tree? I see it. There they go. There they go. It's kind of hurting their head. 3, 4, I can see. Well, we got within about, 90 yards or so, maybe 80, and we thought they were coming. They broke, they started gobbling, and they had so many ladies with them. I think if we'd had someone behind us calling, which we departed from Perry and Dolo, we told Perry to go ahead and yelp a little bit if we got close. So I started and got them gobble several times, but Perry never did kick in. I think if we had, I'd be putting a tag on a turkey's leg right now. Man, I think we're going to be able to get a play on these birds. Well, once they get around that corner, I mean, they're close to it now, but once they get around the corner, we'll be able to run. They're running. Do what? I don't know if there's a coyote or something. They're running. They just took off. Dude. Oh, God, who's driving? Who's driving? For what reason, I don't know, but they just drove up here in my truck. Is that Perry?
Yeah, it's Perry.
What is he doing?
I don't know.
Filming. Just wait till it's your day to hunt.
This episode of DoD TV is brought to you by the new specially designed, lightweight, and durable Tenzing Day Pack. Go further, hunt longer, Tenzing.
We're gonna get up. They just gobbled.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. They're down in that hole. Yeah, they're over down there. All right, we're gonna sneak up, start yelping. We might get in the woods, we might not. Just stay 30, 40 behind.
Yeah.
We're gonna sneak up there, get these birds going. Mark and Wade are gonna go get this set up. I'm gonna hurt back here in this waterway. I'm gonna float call for them once they're up there and set up. Mark will start, and then I'll finish off.
This roll's gonna be perfect for us.
See that area right there? Yeah, right there below that low rise. Mark just gave it the signal to start yelping, so.
I see fan tips right here in front of us, but just to the right side of that big tree. Coming right towards that big tree.
Good job. I heard a turkey popping, dog.
That was fun.
That was an awesome turkey.
Congrats. Congrats.
That was fun.
Dog! Good job on the calling, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Congrats.
That thing was hammering back there. What call is that you're using?
It'd be the tongue and burr.
Sweet. Well, it sounded great.
Thank you.
But we're distant and it's windy.
Yeah, I know. You can't catch a break with these guys anytime.
Perry talked about going to another farm, and I looked at Wade and we were like, no, let's go to this one. And it sure paid off.
Oh, God.
Perry hasn't been around us much today, but we blamed everything on him.
Other than the kill. That was on us.
That was us. This was all us, but we were actually going to another turkey that Wade had seen, and then Wade looked over here and said, there's birds right here. Actually, Perry spotted the turkey. So, anyway, they were down in the woods. We yelped, I started. Perry was back further yelping, and it worked like a charm. All of a sudden, he started coming out to the open and got a shot there at about 35 yards.
Yeah.
That's the third setup of the morning. We had a roost hunt fail, setup fail, success here.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
And breakfast is on the horizon.
Yes, it is.
How much fun was that?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
We always say it never gets old, and these moments never get too frequent either.
No, not to be in a spot like this that was burned, and the regrowth is beautiful, and turkeys are thriving here.
We've been talking about it in turkey season 24. The burn work we did, habitat improvement. This farm was burned about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and the regrowth is already blowing out of the ground. Like there's just no substitution. It's one of the best management tools that you could have is fire, whether it be for deer or turkeys or any ground nester certainly. So
Yeah.
just awesome.
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks, Perry. And I gotta admit, Wade and I were being a little rough on you this morning. And I think that he was probably being a little rough on us in two different positions, but we were blaming it on Perry. But this one, we'll give credit to Wade.
It never fails with these boys. It never fails.
We'll take a team credit on this one. How does that sound?
Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And it just gets better from here. Man, when it comes to hunting and access, there's no substitution for us in the way we hunt than the Tracker EV. We started using these probably 6-7 years ago, and they're built well, they're fast as all get out, and they hold a battery charge. Those are the main things that I look for. The times that we use them, probably in and around a rainy day like this one. Once our access roads get muddy, or perhaps a farmer's field, they don't want you going in there in their truck, and I don't either on my farms, but that tracker's lighter and you can get to places that you wouldn't normally get to, and you've certainly covered a lot faster. Obviously, the given, there's no noise from the motor, so if you can get to the spot and see them before they see you, you've got a good chance of getting in on that gobbler. I like the storage on it, I like the charge, like I said, and we certainly like it in wet weather, and when we've got a long access, avoid a few steps and save those when you're actually after the birds.
Mossy Oak brand camo, the world's most effective and versatile concealment system, has you covered. Only the results of exhausting research by Mossy Oak inventor Toxie Hayes.
I developed Mossy Oak really out of a love for turkey hunting. I've been turkey hunting all my life since I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and I just got real frustrated at turkeys with such a sharp eye being able to see.
His commitment to develop the best camouflage available resulted in the first pattern, which he called Bottomland. That pattern proved so successful at blending a hunter into his surroundings that it literally changed the way America hunted. It was a natural progression to add large leaves of different sizes and natural colors to create full foliage, which correctly emulates the woods in mid to late turkey season and early bow season.
Great patterns, great people, and a commitment to help hunting can only mean bigger and better things ahead for Mossy Oak.
Amazing what a turkey hunter will do, isn't it?
Hey, stand up guy on 10 toes. Big body pull up in a Range Rover. I can change the whole game when I say so. I pull up, shut it down, yeah, they know. Running this game ain't a game for me. I never switched up, no change in me. The only thing changing this season, you go against me, then you know that you tweaking, okay? Cause baby, I'm him. I be on 10. Two-stepping in the party, I do not dance. Watch how I move, make it look good.
What's going on, part-timers? It's March 16th. It's opening day of turkey season here in Northeast Florida. Me and Jacob are here this morning to hopefully get some guys on some big old gobblers. We've got Randy behind the camera. It's really dark and the light's bright. I can't see if his hips are moving on this one or not, but he's back there filming this for us. He's gonna have a camera as well this morning. Hopefully he can get something on camera. Bubba is filming his pastor down back in Palaca, so he's not here, but good Lord willing, he'll have some good luck as well. So y'all stay tuned, and good Lord willing, we're gonna get on some.
I hope so. Hopefully it happens.
Yeah, man, I'm ready. You ready?
Let's get it.
Part-timers, from a hunting standpoint, applies to everybody. Whether you're a deer hunter, duck hunter, elk hunter, turkey hunter, nobody gets to do it full time. I mean, we would love to, but we can't.
barrel. Kill the strutter. Wait. Make him raise his head. You got it. Shoot whichever one you want. Shoot the middle. Shoot him. Is it the one on the right? That did they go shoot him. Put it on his neck. Yeah. That's okay. Got some good food. Huh? Just be quiet. They allowed to come back. They're not very scared.
Hear that? All right, guys, it's 8:35. Boy, we had an eventful morning. We got set up and finally the birds started gobbling. And there was 3 of them hammering not very far from us. Finally, they hit the ground and messed around and called in 2 birds from across the food plot. And they came right onto the decoys and we were fixing to try to shoot one of them. And then all of a sudden they got a little wary and I thought they'd saw us. And then I yelped to them and those gobblers gobbled and they were incoming fast. They ran those jokers off and they got to strutting around the decoy right there. When the time came, Mr. Johnny shot, and I don't know if his gun got knocked off or what, but they're just not, it wasn't on. He missed them 3 times and they eased off, but we're gonna go try another place. So y'all stay tuned. All right, y'all, it's 11:20. We just got done eating breakfast. We shot Mr. Johnny's gun just to double check, make sure everything was good. And we just got word that Mr. Jim saw a gobbler, so we whipped it around and we are headed over there to try to get after him. A good midday gobbler here. He was lonesome, so y'all stay tuned.
This is Jacob's Ditch at Barn Hill. Man's dream of a place to slip in and out on turkeys. We took a vote and the opinion is that the new sheriff probably needs to get the skid steer down here and clean it out a little bit. That's not me saying that, that's the general public.
See how I've had to take the top off today? Yeah.
Got that old joker. Nice.
Whew. That was a morning.
That was a good hunt.
Oh, man.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, we had a different kind of adventure early this morning.
Yeah.
Didn't bring any feathers home, but we saw a lot of turkeys, and gosh, walking around looking, and Mr. Coleman called us and said, I see one. So we got around and sort of got in an area that he might have come to, and lo and behold, he showed up.
About 30 minutes later.
About 30 minutes later, and I'm gonna say part of it's because this lucky hat. He gave me this hat because I left mine in the. You really showed good patience on this one because he put you in a bind.
Yeah.
He came up to our left and then walked straight to the right, stopped behind a little island of trees, and then he stepped out. And I'm gonna say he stayed there a minimum of 10 minutes and did not move a muscle.
At least.
Every now and then he'd pop a wing. He was nervous. I was just clucking and purring, and Ernie cut at him and he gobbled. And I mean, he started walking, and then you could see him.
Yeah.
Good, because you couldn't see him for all that. You did a great shot. What a gorgeous place to hunt.
It's a beautiful place to
hunt. You know, and as we know, you did it for the kids, like
Yeah.
you've been doing. For how many years have you done this hunt?
Probably 10.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I've been coming down here as long as I can remember, and you've been here since the beginning. It may be close between 15 and 20. I think somebody said maybe 17.
Yeah.
That's quite a commitment
Yeah.
for all the people that do this for C-Mark. It's fun to share it with a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sit up here and be about eye level with him now. Yeah, Randy, get my feet. Look at that. Joker's 14 inches taller than me. All right, part-timers, we had a great morning today. Most of the hunters bagged a bird, a couple of them didn't, but man, what a morning. You had some good action, some top-notch footage. You're gonna be signing contracts with the stuff you got.
Yeah.
Doggone
it. You had a great hunt though too. I mean, five longbeards on. I mean.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. It was pretty incredible. I forgot my tripod this morning. It was sitting in the back of the truck. We got to the blind, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot my camera tripod. And the lens doesn't have image stabilization, as you can tell Randy's hips. Oh no, he's not swinging them right now, so it's good. But I forgot the tripod anyways. I had a little stakeout blind that I just balled up and set it on top of that, and it was good to go. But
it still looked good though when it was all said and done, yeah.
It was pretty good. I'm impressed. Improvise, you know.
That's right.
So y'all stay tuned. We've got some more stuff coming at you. Thank y'all for watching. You're watching the Part-Timers. See that? Look how tall he is.
There we go. Week 3 in the books. Clock's ticking. I hope you're enjoying it. You know, there's no better way to pass that season than watching some of the best there is doing the turkey hunting and filming the turkey hunting, which is hard to do. And again, that's our gift to you, 100% free right here on the Mossy Oak Go app. Thank you for watching. I'm assuming you'll be back for the rest of these. So from everybody at Mossy Oak and Mossy Oak Go, we'll see you next week on week 4.